What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Box Out Boys podcast. We are the NBA podcast of the people, your home for lukewarm takes and substandard analysis. I'm Titus Two Shots Dominguez, and joining me tonight, it's Chris Statsman Gorman. Hit him with the stats, Chris.
Hey. I got a stat this week, guys. All right, this is a day old. But the NBA there was an NBA standings image if the free throws were worth 0 points. So we just exclude free throws from the equation. The Minnesota Timberwolves would be 9-4. That team is currently sitting at 4-9. So free throws matter, and especially in Minnesota up here. So, and for reference, the Bulls would be 9-5. So they've kind of benefited a little bit. But anyways, fun stat. Here we go.
They've been getting a lot of free throws for sure. You know, he sees red. He's all redded out tonight. It's the lawn boss, the Balzac, Joey McCrosky. Get that, Joe.
I had to go with the new nickname. It's a great name.
It is a great nickname. We would definitely be talking Bulls tonight. Adam is not joining us tonight. He is on load management tonight, man. He's been putting in the work behind the scenes, but he will be mixing this up later. So that's why we sound as delicious as Dev.
He really works harder than
we do.
The three of us.
Here.
Yeah.
By far.
Respect.
Sure. Respect. Thanks, Adam, for doing this later.
Thank you.
All right, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it, man. Let's jump around the league here. Getting started off another busy week going. I guess we could start with the big game last night. Definitely the marquee matchup, probably one of the marquee matchups of the season. Golden State versus Brooklyn. Joey, man, what do you think, man?
Man, the Warriors have been just on an absolute tear. Steph himself has been on an absolute tear. Interesting part of last night's game was he had a pretty bad, I think it was third quarter. He was out with foul trouble, and the Warriors really just managed to somehow pull away. And the scary part for me is I heard today Clay is back in full contact, practicing 5-on-5. So it's only a matter of time now till Klay Thompson is back in the mix here. Splash Brothers are going to be back at the pool party. Iguodala's giving them strong minutes. Andrew Wiggins has seemed to have found his niche.
Yeah, he definitely has.
You know, Chris called out to us that we all picked the under when we did our over-under. Was it 48 games? We all said that was going to be.
We don't need to talk about that.
So that's looking tough. They obviously got the best of our Bulls on Friday, but I'm feeling less bad about that loss after the Warriors steamrolled the Nets. They're a scary team. I don't think anybody saw this coming. I guess we should have anticipated that when you have Steph, you have a chance to win any game you ever play in.
Yeah, he looks ridiculous in particular. I mean, their team looks solid all around. Like I said, Wiggins has been showing signs. Iguodala still getting up and throwing down dunks. You know, he threw a couple against the Bulls and the Nets. So he's been sharp. Poole's been good. But really, it's Steph has been playing out of his head. The guy he looks ridiculous. I mean, one thing I was thinking about watching him against the Bulls and then watching him against the Nets is that, you know, we watch a guy who's a great shooter, as Stacey King likes to say, a professional scorer in Zach LaVine constantly. And he makes LaVine look like, like a good player. The way he shoots and the way, like, just the angles he takes and how he gets open, how fast his release is, it's ridiculous. And he's kind of, he's definitely in that MVP race for sure, front of it. And he's rolling up the league right now. Chris, what do you think about the game last night and just kind of maybe the Golden State in general?
So this is going to sound really stupid because I'm very late to the party, but this was the first game where I finally was convinced that the Warriors will not be the 8th seed in the Western Conference this year. Joey was talking about how Curry in the third quarter was not doing that well. Fun stat from this game. Led by Draymond Green and company. This is why Draymond Green is the second best player in the Warriors, and it always has been. They held Durant to 0-8 from shooting and with 3 turnovers in the third quarter. That third quarter run is the reason why they won the game. It's the reason why they're on the streak. The reason why they win most of their games is a third quarter team. And the Warriors just freaking killed it. It doesn't make any sense because you look at this team on paper and they got Poole, they got Wiggins, they got Green, they got Looney as their starting 5. That's not a winning starting 5. They don't have a second option. They have 2 third options. Steph is the first and second option on this offense right now. And he's killing it. This guy's getting 37. He got 40 against the Bulls. One stat I want to point out, or one quote from KD, just respect to the Warriors defense. They were talking about like Golden State Warriors stifling defense caused it, and here's KD echoing the same sentiment. He said, "My shoulder is cool. It didn't hinder me at all. They did a good job packing the paint and switching up the defenses each possession. They might go box and 1, triangle and 2. Then they might switch everything. They do a good job. I'm sure they practice all that stuff and then apply it to the game. Yeah, no shit. Of course they practice. Anyways, they just do a great job of like switching up their defenses throughout the quarter and every possession to keep the offense guessing. So respect to this team, respect to the organization, and really this is a sentiment to. It's more about the coaching and the organization itself than even the players, because when you got stuff like this happening, you can make up for talent like Jordan Poole, who's fine.
Yeah, it's fine, but
should
like
be averaging 18 points a game.
No, right.
This is insane.
No, you brought up that triangle and 2, and that was something that was really interesting watching that last night. Whenever I think when like Patty Mills sat, and it was just like Harden and Durant were out there, they went to that triangle too. Or I think there was a moment where Durant and Harden were both out, and it was just Patty Mills was out on the floor, and they went to a box and 1 on Patty Mills. They just switched up the defense to match up with their personnel. Like they were clearly not worried about anybody else but besides those 3 guys. They're like, yeah, go ahead, Blake Griffin, figure something out. If LaMarcus Aldridge is making 18-footers, fine. But you're just not going to let Durant, who had, been having a great season and has been playing, out of his mind and putting up sort of like an argument for the best player in the league currently kind of season for him. And they shut him down. Like you said, he was, what was he, 0 for 8,
in that
third quarter.
Yeah.
That was crazy. And there was a lot of that was Draymond Green, and a lot of that was their team defense. And I know that, I think a lot of people think of them as a shooting team, but something they brought up in the broadcast was that they're like plus 11 in the paint or something against teams. It's ridiculous. Like they're getting to the basket, and that's how they're getting those open threes, especially for Steph. And him in particular, he just draws so much attention on defense. I think at halftime, Kenny the Jet was showing a play where the Nets were committing 2 guys at the half court line to Steph, and about how they were getting open cuts to the basket based off of that. And I think there was another play later in that game where Steph's bringing the ball up and he's looking like he's going to, pull up for that shot. He had all 5 guys with the attention on him, and he fires it into the lane. I forget who it was. I think it might have been that the rookie guy, the 19-year-old. I forget his name off the top of my head. But I think to him cutting to the basket, wide open dunk.
Kuminga probably.
Yeah, Kuminga. Yeah, that was him. It's just he just attracts so much attention, and he's hitting so many shots that what are you going to do? I know. Joey, do you have any more thoughts on just Golden State in general, or kind of?
Yeah, they're playing loose again. Like it seems like carefree. Like Steph has his swag back. He's putting up shots and looking into the stands. He pulled one of those against the Bulls.
Amazing all time. Yeah. That's like a Usain Bolt at the finish line.
Absolutely fantastic picture. Yeah,
unreal.
But I mean, we didn't see that from him as much last year. It seemed like he second in MVP voting or third in MVP voting, and he was putting up numbers, but he looked like he was putting a lot more effort in to get them. And this year, it seems like he's back to his normal, just run into a spot, and he's taking any sliver of room that you'll give him and just putting up threes, and he's making them at a infuriating clip if you're playing against him. But if you're not playing against him, it's a fantastic thing to watch.
Yeah, it definitely was more fun watching the Nets game than the Bulls game.
Yeah.
One stat on the Warriors, they are 26th in the league in turnovers. So yeah, they turn the ball over a lot, which is to Joey's point about being fast and free. And that's kind of what you get from it. You get to get those 3-pointers, but you also turn the ball over a bunch.
Yeah.
Did you drop any listener question here?
I'm gonna tease the question.
Tease it
we will discuss it, I think, next week.
Okay.
Listener question from a previous guest on the show, Richie. The question is, who is a better player, Steph Curry or Kobe Bryant?
Whoa.
Okay, I saw this question somewhere.
Yeah, he said, I think it was
on
off
Twitter.
Reddit,
I saw this,
but he passed it along.
I immediately said Kobe Bryant, or I immediately said Stephen Curry.
So did I.
I want to do the deep dive stats on it to confirm.
Yeah, we're gonna have to deep dive this.
Yeah,
but
that's why I'm teasing it, because I think we gotta give it.
I want to try to see Kobe,
this is a big one, I think, for us guys. We got to make sure we give this one the diligence it deserves.
I saw a photo of LeBron giving a high five to Kobe. Sorry, I saw a photo of LeBron giving a high five to Kobe from 2 years ago. I thought Kobe died like 5 years ago at this point. It's kind of wild how
It's
recent
been a long
that still
time.
is in our minds.
Yeah. Chris is lagging a bit. You're lagging a little bit, Chris.
Wait,
Chris is on the lag
it hasn't
train.
been long, right?
He
Yeah,
can't
you're
hear
lagging,
us, guys.
You're
We're
lagging a
losing
little,
him.
Chris.
And basketball reference because that
He gets no clue.
hurts my data.
You can't tell.
Am I back?
You're back a little bit. Maybe close a window or two.
Yeah, I closed the
we-
basketball reference window I had open.
Okay.
There
Yeah,
you
we got
go.
you. We got you now.
That sounds better.
That's
just
what it was.
Yeah,
That's
so
the
well.
question for next week, though, guys.
All right, we
gotta,
will definitely
all right,
have to
let's
we gotta,
save
look
it.
into
we
that.
gotta give that
Save
one
it.
ready. But I think it's a good discussion point for
But
us.
if you guys are joining us in the chat, feel free to comment on that. What do you think about that? Just off the top of your head. So let's keep moving it around the league. Chris made sure that I watched a couple of Cavs games.
Thank you.
And I felt like it was time. It was time I needed to watch some Cavs. You know, Joey.
I'm not there yet.
You're not there
We
yet,
didn't do-
but I,
I'm not there yet, Chris.
I do
Fair.
have to. I do want to report. I want to report back that the Cavs do in fact have some guys. So I was very impressed with them. I watched their 2 games against Boston over the weekend, and they had the crazy comeback with Rubio looking like a vintage veteran that's giving a good presence, and then they couldn't get it done in the second game. But I really liked their closing lineup in that second game. I believe it was Cedi Osman, Jarrett Allen, Darius Garland, Ricky Rubio, and Evan Mobley. And that was a fun lineup, man. I thought that was a pretty good lineup. They had kind of all their, positions covered. Osman was diving into lanes and, getting steals and hitting threes. I really liked him. He stood out to me a lot. So Chris, you're a resident Cavs man. Let us know, man. What do you think about them?
I have unexpectedly become the resident Cavs man. I did not care to watch Cleveland after LeBron left, to be honest. And then I kept watching them get assets, draft Sexton, draft Garland, get Isaac Okoro, Cedi Osman's doing some things. And then Evan Mobley just comes onto this team. This guy is blowing it up. He's the second coming of Kevin Garnett. This guy, especially in the Boston game, he really proved it in that game where in the post, that guy is posting up every possession down the stretch. But the last 4 minutes was just Mobley posting up, and they might throw it to him. They might not. Sometimes they did, but he was such a big threat down there. He was such a big presence, which you don't normally see from a rookie like that. So Evan Mobley just really, really getting it done there. The Cavs pulling out that win, squeaking out that win because of that veteran presence they get from Ricky Rubio, just dropping dimes and.
Oh yeah, man. He has this one move. He comes around the lane and just like carries the ball out in front of him and gives it a second and then kicks it out. It was awesome. I was like, this guy, I love this dude. I'm gonna have to catch some more Cavs games, man. You might have converted me.
It's amazing. And the most devastating thing is, of course, then they played the Celtics again 2 days later. Mobley goes 0 for 11. The Cavs only lose by 6. And then now Mobley's out for like 2 to 4 weeks with I think it was like a foot thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was something like that.
So it was tough, but they got some guys. I'm happy with this team. They're losing now, and they're playing Brooklyn today. And then they're playing the Warriors tomorrow. And I was excited for that until Mobley got hurt. Yeah, it's kind of like Vooch going out for the Bulls. Warriors are just getting all the breaks, man. They're not that good, I swear. But anyways,
8 seed coming.
8 seed, 6.
You know what? I think it back.
Buck seconds.
But the Cavs, man, the Cavs are 5th in the East right now, and I think they're going to stay. I think they're going to be better. I think they're going to finish better than the Wizards, even though the Wizards did beat them last week.
Yeah, I think they could. I think they could be a potential playoff team. All right, here we go. We got a question in the chat I have to ask you guys.
Baskets.
From Baskets Be Awesome. We know who you are now.
Wait a minute.
In the spirit of Thanksgiving, what player are you most thankful for?
The cover's blown.
Right now I'm going to say DeMar DeRozan.
Yes.
I am most thankful that DeMar DeRozan, a guy who I said was straight trash, is killing it for us right now. This is great. I love him.
To be fair, you weren't the only person who called him straight trash, and a lot of people were. very low on the signing of DeMar DeRozan.
Yes,
So.
I was very low, and I'm pleasantly surprised to be disappointed by that signing. And you guys have a player you're most thankful for?
I am most thankful for Lonzo Ball.
Mm.
He has, I believe, saved the Bulls from certain and utter destruction from one injured returning player to the Bulls. No, all seriousness, I'm excited to have an actual point guard, somebody running the offense for a fair amount of the game. Also, his defensive intensity has been just off the charts, and I think he's inspiring the rest of the team to actually pay a little bit more attention on defense. I mean, even Levine seems much more engaged, and everybody's kind of going along with. And so, I'm thankful that Lonzo chose to join our beloved Bulls.
Chris, you got a player
I'm gonna
thankful
go
for?
away. Yeah, I'll go away from the Bulls. I'll just say the Cavs. I'm thankful. I'm thankful for Evan Mobley. I was not expecting this from him.
Yeah,
You know, after like James Wiseman, DeAndre Ayton, we haven't had a good big in the top three.
You got a soft spot for the bigs.
Produced like this. Yeah, and Evan Mobley is just getting it done. It really gave me inspiration that, oh yeah, bigs can still be good in the league as a rookie. Like I always felt like you had to give him a few years, but no, man, Evan Mobley's proving me wrong. I really hope
some of that rookie of the year action. Yeah,
he's really looking for like rookie of the year. So
he's looking great. Scott, there's a lot of good rookies. Too.
Yeah,
Josh
Cade's
Giddey,
coming on
Scotty
now.
Barnes.
Yeah,
Cade's coming back. Yeah, or coming on now. But
all right,
I'm thankful for Evan Mobley.
Did anybody else have anything from around the league you want to get into our Bulls talk? Chris?
I had some. I don't want to talk about the Wolves. I wrote some notes. I just don't want to talk. Let's not talk about them.
Let's not talk about Wolves.
Bad. Okay, so hang on real quick. Towns against the Clippers got held to 8 points from Ivica Zubac and Isaiah Hartenstein. Yeah. Okay. And then 2 days later they played against the Suns where they could have won that game. They kind of maybe should have. There's a couple calls that go here and there. It's a 3-point game. And he outplayed DeAndre Ayton. He proves that he's more skilled than so many dominant bigs in the league. It's just when it comes to crunch time, he's missing. I don't know where he is for the last 4 minutes of the game, and I hate it because I love Karl Anthony Towns. The guy's on Twitch sometimes under Karl Towns. If you don't follow him on Twitch, shout out. He just plays Among Us with his friends, and then he talks to the chat. And there's like 150 people in the chat. It's great. So shout out. I love Karl Anthony Towns as a person, but man, I want to see more from
as
him
a basketball player.
Have you been in the chat of?
Of course. Oh yeah. I'll get some notes. So I realize you can look at security videos because of Karl Anthony Towns.
Hey, you gotta do the drop to the baseline hook.
I was gonna say, for anybody, like we play Among Us tomorrow night. Shout out. There's 5 people here. Hit me up. We'll play Among Us.
Yeah, if you guys are in the chat, feel free to
Central Time, 8:00 Eastern.
Have some questions and feel free to not join Chris's Among Us.
Feel free to engage in the podcast and also disengage from Among Us. Oh, there it is.
All right, well, let's get into our Bulls talk.
I like this question. If you had to put your life savings on it, who would you bet to make a half-court shot? It's Steph. Steph.
Yeah, Steph
Curry.
Or Dame.
Steph Curry first.
Steph Curry.
Although Andre Iguodala is like the clutch guy, according to.
What are we doing here?
Anyways,
now we're just naming guys.
Really? You're going to pick? All right. Your life savings, you're picking Andre Iguodala.
No.
Give me Iguodala.
Sorry, Caitlin.
Maybe Dame? Can we say Dame?
I said Dame. Dame was my second choice. Yeah.
I think Dame's a
solid
1B.
All right. Well, a great week for our Bulls. Oh, hold on. We got another chat.
Kyle Korver.
Kyle Korver. Sneaky good. You know what?
Hey.
Wouldn't be mad at it.
Guy who got traded for a copy machine, right? Is that the story?
I don't remember that one.
I mean, Evan Turner did do it at Ohio State, so Evan Turner could, save your life savings.
I mean, at that point, we could take Archie Diacono too.
Just take anybody.
Oh man,
let me do it.
Where is Archie Diacono?
It's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, is he? No, he's on Cleveland, right? Or no?
No, that's Denzel.
I saw. Yeah, he was out there getting.
I meant to say Denzel plays 20 minutes back-to-back games in Boston now.
Sit him down, please.
Look at
what
him.
Are you doing, Cleveland?
All
right, let's get into some Bulls talk. Bulls had a big week. What did they go? 3-1 this week?
Yeah.
The one loss to the Warriors, or am I right? Am I have that right?
Correct.
And big wins, the back-to-back sweep in LA. I guess the first time in 10 years I was hearing?
10 years, yeah.
Yeah.
They did that. Man, I said it before we got on the podcast. The Bulls are good, man, and I'm still tempering my expectations for the season, but I am very, very optimistic. I do not think they will be missing the playoffs this year. Joey, let's go to you because you are very optimistic about this. What do you think? Bulls week.
I think it's not time to temper. It's time to turn up the heat, man. We're ready to go.
Turn up the AC.
Well done. That's a missed opportunity for me.
Come on, man.
I'm disappointed in myself. Damn.
It's all right.
No. Bulls are ready. I went out and bought some clothes. I bought some socks. I got Chicago Bulls socks. I bought them today. I'm all in.
Bull socks?
I have Chicago Bulls socks. I almost bought a sweatshirt that had DeBalzac on it with their faces. I am so deep.
That was at Dick's?
No, it was not. They did not have DeBalzac shirts at Dick's. No, I'm so far in. The game over the Lakers, it seems impressive. Just what do you say? They beat the Lakers after beating the Clippers, but Anthony Davis was a non-factor in it. Westbrook tried to be a factor for most of the game, and then he just decided he was gonna mail it in. I mean, Anthony Davis got ejected for telling the ref it was bullshit that he didn't get his shoe on fast enough. So that game I think was not as impressive. The game that really was to me was the Clippers game. They really put the hurt on their scorers. They locked down Paul George. They had Reggie Jackson not knowing where to look for most of that game. Just the way that they're flying to the ball. I think after getting embarrassed by Steph, where they were giving him, they lost track of him and giving him some open space. They really locked down on their shooters. They're just flying around right now. I think everything seems to be clicking for them. DeMar and Zach are, I think, 4th and 5th or 5th and 6th in the league in scoring right now. So they're just absolutely bringing it together. 4 and 7. Okay,
right now
4 and 7
every day.
Yeah. Future All-Stars.
Caruso starting, I think, has been a really interesting look. I was skeptical of that, thinking that they needed his his energy off of the bench. But his intensity on the defensive end, even as a starter, has been fantastic. Kobe White is back. He went 0 for 2, so that's why I'm not wearing my Kobe White jersey. He went 0 for 2 in 10 minutes the other night.
But I think you have guys giving you energy off the bench. I think you have like Io and
everything is going.
Everything is clicking. Like you said,
everything's great.
Especially defensively.
Derrick Jones Jr. killed it.
Derrick Jones Jr. Yes.
Derrick Jones Jr. has been fantastic. Yeah, I want to see more of him and less of Tony Bradley.
Yeah, Tony Bradley can sit.
Yeah,
anytime.
Tony Bradley can just sit down and
wrap those minutes
be an
up.
injury replacement. Derrick Jones Jr. just the energy and the
the length. How many times has he got flipped over a guy, like diving for going for a block or a rebound or something? He's all over the place. Chris, what are you gonna do as Big Daddy Kumquat says in the chat? Get on the Bulls train.
I want to get on the Bulls train. I'm on the train. I'm all in on this team. Honestly, I think what it means to get on the Bulls train, I really do believe this team can make it to the NBA Finals.
Whoa.
There's a lot that this team does right. They're so efficient, dude. And that's why when that question came on from No Dunks, we're like, are the Bulls this year's Suns? They fucking are. This team is doing everything that the Suns did last year. Like, they are just so efficient that they're not under the radar because they're in Chicago, not Phoenix. But this team is just so good. And this lineup of Caruso, Ball, Levine, DeRozan at the 4, and then not Tony Bradley, Derrick Jones Jr. At the 5 is the most efficient lineup we have right now because Vucevic is out.
Yeah, but when Vuce is back,
it's just weird.
Yeah,
I mean, Lonzo's hitting 7 threes in a game, 7 and 6, right? I mean, you're gonna get that kind of production out of him.
You get Lonzo's got like a good 5 or 10 games of this, a year, right?
Yeah.
What do you do on defense?
Yeah, I don't know. He's playing like one of those guys that wins you a game or two in a series.
This is already his second time doing this year with 7 for 10 from 3.
Yeah.
So he's got a few more of them.
There's going to be a playoff series. You're going to have that Lonzo game where he goes off for 25, 26 points.
Also, I meant to. I didn't even write this down, but I had during the offseason, one of our pods, I asked the question: could the Bulls become the Phoenix Suns? Do you remember that?
You definitely did. I know
that. I do remember it.
I talked about Patrick
More
Williams
proof that
being
No Dunks
Michael
listens to us.
Bridges, Kobe White being the off
up
the
the
bench
tape.
guy. But I asked that question, and I was just before DeMar
Yeah.
DeRozan came to Chicago, so but it was just fun that like we really did talk about that question in the offseason. So, anyways, that's why I'm so excited for this Bulls team.
Well,
and I'm so excited. Hang on, real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Kobe White being back is so important.
no,
And
it is. It is.
we can't trade this guy because Ayo Dosunmu, as much as I love this guy,
Yeah,
he gets 2 baskets a game. We all cheer and applaud. Oh, great job, Ayo. You made 2 buckets. I'm so excited.
He's literally
That's
Kobe
great,
White.
dude. No, he is not. Kobe White averaged 15 points a game last year.
Yeah,
I'm
as
not
a
clapping
starter.
if he gets 2 baskets a game. This
As a
guy,
starter.
Kobe White's going to produce at much more efficient rate, at a much
They're the
higher
same player.
volume.
Out of
And-
control,
no,
head
no.
down. Out of control, head down, drive to the basket, turn the ball over. Same player.
No,
Ayo can play better defensively and
That's
guard
true.
some ball.
Yeah.
But Kobe's the guy that's got the range that will help that second unit really
I hope
produce
so.
at an efficient level.
when he
Titus,
gets
what you got?
I mean, when he gets rolling, he's going to be a good scorer off the bench. I think that's like what Chris is saying. This very underrated, this addition that's coming. You know what I mean? If he can do, like I think you said he was 15 points a game. And I believe earlier in the preseason, Joey, you were saying if he's like 11 or 12 off the bench consistently, that's big.
Yep.
And especially if you
100%.
have, and then Ayo can kind of, not so much as on his shoulders. Because the other thing is he's a rookie. He's going to start to tail off here as the season goes on. But I love his energy, especially at home when he comes in, the crowd gets going. They're going to
know Ayo is
have those
a
options.
month older than Kobe White.
I did not know that. Holy crap.
Born
That's
same
fine.
year.
The one
He's a
thing I
month
can't,
older.
I actually kind of understand that because Kobe White came out as freshman and Ayo stayed for
Ayo
I
stayed
think
for
it's a
3 years.
sophomore, right?
3
3
years. He stayed for 3, yeah.
The one thing I can't get out of Ayo in my head is that he lost in the second round against Loyola and Cameron Krutwig and the gang. I can't get over that, man.
Come on,
Little
man.
stuff,
Sister
man. Little
Jean.
stuff.
Sister Jean.
Sister G. No, but they're looking good. I don't know about finals. I don't know about the NBA finals, but I could certainly see maybe an Eastern Conference Finals trip. I think that's on the table.
Yeah.
Eastern
So-
Conference Finals.
Yeah, depending on on how the the playoff shakes out.
Sorry,
whatever
I just
with
said
the Nets.
finals, and here I am like, what?
Yeah, what?
I mean, because like right now
possible.
it's weird because Milwaukee's bad.
But they're not going to
Milwaukee's
be
probably going to get better. Philadelphia, they're
That's
kind of
another-
having that free fall now. That like, okay, what is this team? Like, who
Yeah.
knows?
especially
Brooklyn
without
can get
Embiid.
beat on any given night if they,
I think the thing
Oh,
that
man.
like
Can
kind
they
of
match up to Miami? I've always said they match up to Miami. Anyways, yeah. Sorry.
No, Miami's gonna be. I think Miami's gonna be tough. I think what's their game, the 27th or something against Miami.
Yeah,
the first game?
Saturday after Thanksgiving. Yeah.
That's the one I'm gonna be locked in on.
Nice.
But the thing, no, when I watched them against the 2 LA teams, now this is again the huge caveat that Kawhi was out and LeBron was out. But as the teams are there, the teams that they played, I go, you're better than those teams. It's not even like you played better than them on that night. It was the Bulls are a better team than that version of the Clippers and that version of the Lakers.
Yeah.
With LeBron, with Kawhi, different story. But that's what I was getting excited for. I'm like, this team is actually legitimately good. And that closing lineup when Vooch gets back, I think Vooch, DeMar, Caruso, Lonzo, and Levine, that is a legit NBA closing lineup. That is going to be a problem.
It is, yeah.
You are
Because
not wrong.
who guards DeRozan in that case?
Yeah.
As long as they're hitting their shots, like
You have
I
ball
love it.
handlers, you have defensive presence all over the court. I mean, it's still going to be tough if you're guarding, let's say, a Brooklyn. If Kyrie ever comes back and you got Kyrie, Harden, and Durant, it's tough. But, there's somebody that they're going to compete with people. And I
right
think
now, I'm
that-
just gonna go off the assumption he's not coming back. I'm
Mhm.
just, he's got bigger
he's got bigger fish to fry.
ideas, whatever.
Well, I think we've gushed over the Bulls enough. We're going to go into
I got a
You
quick
got-
little Bulls power rankings
update.
update.
All right, let's update those
Um,
power rankings.
The top 3 have remained unchanged. So DeMar number 1, Levine number 2, and Vooch number 3. A little bit of shifting in the middle here. So Derek Jones Jr. goes from the 4th best player on the team to the 5th best player. He's replaced by Lonzo Ball, which I think makes perfect sense based on the last 7 games that we've had. Caruso jumps up a spot from the middle of the pack. He goes to number 7? So 7 being 7th best. Biggest drop is Ayo. Ayo goes from the 5th worst to the 3rd worst technically at this time, and Troy Brown Jr. and the rest of those guys in the bottom there just kind of milling about. So Jarek Jones Jr., I think the first time we talked through this, we were kind of like, really? I don't know if that makes sense. It's a small sample size. Sample size has gotten bigger. He's hanging out right there. So I think our Titus, your idea of DeMar, Levine, Vooch, Derek, and Lonzo. Oof.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it a
swap
lot.
in Caruso for
Derek
Derek.
Jones
You're
Jr.
good.
is 6'6" at the center position, but
Love
hey,
Love it.
yeah,
he gets up. He skies, man. All right, Chris, are you ready for some box out?
One thing I want to make
book
sure there was a listener question prior to the pod. Do we want to talk about the Knicks? The Knicks real quick. Are the Knicks good? Should we just say like, are the Knicks good or bad?
Bing bong.
Quick thoughts on the Knicks. And I want to reference this. Oh my god, what am I saying?
Aren't you busy to come to the
Knicks
Knicks?
are looking really freaking good, and especially after they beat the Bulls, and now look at the record, they're 8-6. They're losing games left and right here.
Yeah,
I always thought they'd be regressing on the season, so I'm gonna go against and be like, no, the Knicks are not good. Stop it. I don't
Not
like
good.
the Knicks. I liked Kemba Walker. I liked what he was doing. He's fallen off a cliff.
Kemba Walker.
God damn, this
I
guy
told
is
you that.
not. He's just not doing things. So
Yeah.
no,
I think the Knicks are just okay. Kind of want to shrug your shoulders at them. Seems like when they're on, they can be all on, but when they're not, they're not. I think Julius Rando.
I like that. That's a great.
Julius Rando is a perfect
Julius
nickname.
Julius Rando, because you don't know what you're going to get, right? Are you going to get a
know.
great game? You're going to get a bad game. It's really random. You have no idea.
He's a Julius Rando.
Julius Rando. I think he's definitely underperformed. He has not lived up to the expectations that I think he had after his All-Star appearance last year.
Yeah. I looked at your roster after you sent this to our chat, and I was like, all right, let me check the Knicks out. I haven't really watched them other than the Bulls game, and I looked at the roster. I'm just like, yeah, they got some pieces. They got Rose, they got Kemba, they got some names you've heard of, but your best player is Rando. So I mean,
Rando,
like Julius Rando is your best player. You're fine.
You can have him.
Yeah, you can have him. I think.
Yep.
Like, to answer your question, are they good or bad? I just think that the ceiling is so low with them. Like, the floor is probably pretty high. Like, Chris, you always kind of bring a high floor, low ceiling, but the ceiling is just so low. They're what are you? A fifth, sixth seed? You get knocked out. I think that's what
you're talking about prior to the pod, where it's like, can they make it to the second round?
Yeah,
and it's like I don't think I would be shocked
so.
if they're in the second round, then they're losing. Like
mm-hmm.
they got there by accident.
Mm-hmm.
It would be if the matchup was right. So yeah, no, I think they're okay, and they're not going to make any noise. I'm not worried about them. I'm not worried about them for the Bulls for sure. So I would love a first round matchup, Bulls Knicks. Ooh,
yeah, that'd be nice.
Can't wait. All right, Chris, book club, man.
Book club. All right, box out book club.
Box out
book club. We're reading right now. Unguarded by Scottie Pippin.
Scottie,
the hardcover copy.
Scottie.
Obviously, everyone's reading the headlines with Scottie. The guy's all over the place. He's going through a lot. I think his legacy is being. I think he's the better. This is the one thing I will say. And I want you guys to input on this. He is a better player than Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Some people, I feel like more people would say he's not. Maybe not. I don't know. Chat. There's 4 people here. Yeah. Somebody say, "Fuck." What do we got here?
Barkley.
Anyways, you guys already saw with the headlines where John Paxson called Pippen after the Last Dance was aired. So I was reading the prologue for this book, which just got me so excited for this book, and I really need to really dig into it, and I will. But so Michael Jordan got paid $10 million for the Last Dance, but nobody else got a dime, which is kind of weird. And then Paxson called Pippen after the Last Dance and said, "I'm sorry we treated you this way," and he began to cry. Or he said, "I hated how things turned out when you came back to Chicago. This organization has always treated you poorly. I want to know that I think it's not right." And then he said he began to cry, not knowing how to respond. I waited for him to stop. Why he was crying, I couldn't be sure, but honestly, I didn't care. Before long, our chat was mercifully over.
Damn.
Okay, finally,
Scottie.
So the thing that led up to that though is what did he do? So Paxton gave him like a dozen games to go scout for the upcoming season, and
Yeah.
it was insane. Like, what? Hang on.
Because he's there. He's an ambassador, right? He's
Yeah.
kind of like Joakim Noah with a little bit
Yes.
money, his numbers up, but he's the ambassador to the Bulls as well. So I guess, yeah, scouting trip sounds fair.
He became an ambassador in 2003, and then he was finally put on the Bulls payroll more. And then in 2003, then in 2010, he was put on the payroll more than just a mascot in the book's words, more than just appearances. This kind of made me depressed. I signed autographs and met with season ticket holders, hired for mainly one purpose, to serve as a link to the glory days. I was like, oh man,
Yeah.
like if
Yeah.
I met Scottie Pippen then, he didn't really like, yeah. And then he talked about how he went to Duke, North Carolina, or no, he went to Duke, Syracuse to watch the Duke game on TV. And he saw Jabari Parker, play well, whatever. He couldn't believe how loud it was. And then he said, after following the scouting reports, I waited to hear back from Paxton and other members of the organization what they want me to do next. And he said, I didn't hear a word. I'm like, oh shit, this guy's just being played. Like, and
Yeah,
it's
just
like,
giving
here's
some
stuff like
sort
that.
of-
I'm like, oh man. And then 10 years later, that's when Paxton, calls him crying and all that shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. If I had that happen to me, like I feel, like that would suck. So I don't know. That's what I got this week. I can't wait to dig more into it. But right now I have sympathy for Scottie.
Right now, you're
And,
sympathy.
right now I do. I think, but a lot of it does really sound like him, like, oh, woe is me. And it's
Yeah.
like some of it is justified, but others it's like, come on, dude. Like,
I just think it's tough because he played on the same team as the greatest player of all time, and I mean, what are you gonna do, man? Like, you were a great player. You're a top 50 player for sure. Whatever, top 30, top 40, whatever you want to put him at. He's just not Michael Jordan.
There was a great meme that came out that was like Kyrie Irving 25 years from now. It was just a picture of Scottie.
Yeah.
Just like
I could see it like if the Bucks string a couple more together, you could see like a Chris Middleton, Giannis thing.
Yeah. You maybe see something.
I don't think Chris Middleton's got that ego though. I don't know enough about Chris Middleton.
I don't think anybody thought Scottie had that in him either.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I mean, when watching those as kids and watching The Last Dance, I mean, all the clips and things you see, like they looked like they were, having a great time. You didn't get the sense that Scottie wasn't happy with his role, or wanted more of the spotlight.
Yeah. Well, I know it was brought up that Jordan even said, like, I don't win those 6 championships without Scottie, but like, it's not. I don't know. It's just not enough from him.
I don't know if it's on him to go out and do that either. I mean,
we got a comment in the chat.
Yeah,
Scottie Pippen is a nice Jimmy Butler. LOL. Way to highlight the comment. It's not inaccurate, honestly. Like, if Jimmy Butler, when we saw what he was doing in Philadelphia, he brought Minnesota to the playoffs. If he had a Michael Jordan kind of talent, would he have won the championship? Maybe.
Because you were bringing up like the Barkley comparison, and my instinct was Scottie was better. But now that I'm kind of thinking about it, like, all right, does Scottie take a team to the finals as the best player of the team? Because Charles did. I mean, he lost to Jordan.
No, I think Scottie could. Yeah, he almost did.
I think Scottie could.
Scottie against the Knicks series that they lost, like there were a couple of calls. It could have gone either way, and that was the only thing standing in the way to the finals. So that's why I think Scott. And that was the year after Jordan left the first time. Mm-hmm. So that's why I hold Scottie at a higher pedestal. I own that with my 4th of July jersey, and I need to get some jerseys behind me here.
But, hang them up in the rafters.
Yeah,
I think we should have
also where I
Pippen
work,
Day.
so it would be kind of
right. Scottie Pippen Day.
Scottie Pippen Day. Chicago needs to have it.
Oh yeah, they should. Well, they should do something for him because hey,
I need to buy his whiskey. I
think the city loves him. Whether the organization has shown that or not. Obviously, Paxton and Gar have done a lot of wrong things, but I think if you brought it out to the fans that there was a Scottie Pippen Day or, wanted to do some sort of event, I think people would be all for it. I don't think anybody would be like, no way.
No way.
I agree with that. Yeah.
What sucks is if he just shut up, people would talk him up. You know what I mean?
I disagree.
Yeah.
No, I think he has to talk himself up though. That's the only time I will actually, because I usually hate it when these guys talk, but like, kind of agree with Scotty. Like he is underappreciated.
But I don't know. Like
I get a one-on-one
to Durant, and I was like,
just get a
"Are
Jordan
you sure?"
Pippen.
I don't know about that, but
he said, well, "Who's Durant?"
He said he's like on par with Durant. With
No.
like maybe defensively he's better, but shooting wise, obviously he's not. But
no, Durant's one of the best scorers ever.
Maybe emotionally.
Yeah, I thought that was the comparison.
Scotty probably would have had a burner account if they existed in the mid '90s.
To Joey's point though on the fan thing, where if it was up to the fans, of course Pippen would be more respect. He probably does he have a statue outside of the United Center?
No.
Right? He
should.
Jordan's the only one.
And like in Minnesota, so Kevin Garnett's getting his jersey retired by the Boston Celtics. Right? It's kind of weird. He played there for 3 years. He won a championship, sure.
Yeah.
But Kevin Garnett said that like Boston's organization, leads at a championship level, and they do championship level things, and, alluding to the jersey retirement that he's going to have. And Minnesota, who he played for 20 plus years or 19, whatever, Minnesota, it's only because Glenn Taylor, the owner, has a beef with Kevin Garnett. Everybody else up here loves Kevin Garnett, wants him to have it, but it's dumb. And that's all it is sometimes. So
no, Scotty should definitely be appreciated more. Hey, maybe could have got a finals MVP in there one time, but who knows? I don't know.
Wait, really? Which one do you think?
I don't know. I haven't dig deep in the stats, but I've always felt like he
that.
should have won one. Like at some point, like you could have, like you had to give him all to Jordan. I mean, I guess Jordan was just Jordan, man. But
it's weird because like even Brady, Deion Branch got a Super Bowl MVP over Brady. Even though Brady should have probably gotten that one.
Iguodala got one.
Tony Parker over Tim Duncan. Iguodala with Curry.
The weakest.
But it never happened to Jordan.
MVP ever. That's what I mean. Like Jordan just had this, aura about him that I don't think anybody else has had ever.
Nobody will ever touch it.
Yeah, nobody will ever touch it either. But
nobody ever should. When you look back on it, it was kind of stupid. Like it was, and I don't want to get into it. I love Michael Jordan, and that's why I hate kind of get into it. But
yeah. I mean, it's a different time. Like his aura wouldn't be the same as it is now, right? I mean,
no,
with the way that the sport was and the reach that he brought them. I mean, the trips to China and if you meet somebody from a different country today that doesn't have basketball as like a main sport, they know who Michael Jordan is.
Yeah.
I mean, you meet people from different countries and they're like, oh yeah, we know the Bulls. Like they come to Chicago and they want to go to United Center to see the statue of Michael Jordan. That's like a tourist attraction for people.
Yeah. And there should be a Scotty statue right next to him.
Hey,
there really should be. Yeah.
Because to me, I've always thought of them as like
just make it bigger and taller. Have it like he's dunking over Jordan and make it equal.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to more of the more to come from Scotty's book as Chris reads through it.
I can't wait. Yeah, more next week.
Well, you know what? We got a little time here. I got a couple of crazy questions for you guys. One prediction. Let me go to my notes here, and then any last topics you guys think of we want to cover before we wrap up. So my crazy prediction is that Ben Simmons gets traded for Westbrook at some point in the season. I heard this rumored that like they should just do this, and I feel like this I think I read an article that the Lakers should give up on Westbrook, and I'm trying to think of all right, well, where could he go? So what do you guys think? Possibility 0% chance.
If it happens, I'd be shocked.
I think it's like under 10%. Yeah.
Yeah,
from the 76ers.
Yeah, because that's the only thing I think about. The 76ers wouldn't like it. You might have to get a third team in there so the Sixers get somebody good.
That's what every Ben Simmons trade is. It's like, you gotta get a third team in because they want Bradley Beal or they want whatever
Jaylen Brown or
yeah.
It's not happening, Titus. I love your thought. What other questions you got here? It's not happening.
All right, so that's not happening. That's why I led with it. So this is a question I had, and I'm very curious what you guys think. Is LeBron a top 5 player in the league currently?
No.
That's kind of what I thought. That's kind of what I thought.
He's been out for 8 games.
No,
I know.
Just Lakers are
even if he's
shit
back
without him. When he comes back, he'll prove that he's a top 5 player again. That's all I'm going to say. I think he is. Right now, obviously, yeah, of course not. He's now. When we got Durant, Giannis, Curry, Jokic.
Yep.
And Luka.
And Luka's fine. Yeah.
Well, let's say my other thought was Kawhi was the other guy I thought of. If he's not hurt, is Kawhi a better player?
Is Paul George a top 5 guy right now? Right, like with the
the Clippers. I mean, arguably,
I think you probably take Luka out and LeBron subs in for there.
Mm-hmm.
Not subs in. Luka's subbing in for LeBron.
It's a good question.
Right now,
I think it's a good question to like. It's right on the border.
I thought of it last night when I was watching the game, and they were kind of talking about who's the best player in the league. Is it Durant or is it Steph? And kind of like this was
by the way,
matchup.
It's Steph.
It's Steph. Yeah, by the way,
right?
Steph.
Like especially after last night, like
it's always been Steph.
But
it's always been Steph.
I was
thinking always has been Steph.
It's always been Steph. But I was thinking, I'm like, all right, because Durant and Steph for sure are like 1, 2. I'm like, Giannis is probably 3. Maybe we haven't even mentioned Embiid. Is Embiid in the mix? I was thinking of Jokic, Luka, like I said, Kawhi. And then I was like, I just started doing the math, and I'm like, is LeBron still a top 5 player in the league currently? Because I don't know if he is.
Is this like the same thing why Klay Thompson's not in the top? I don't know. Let's not go down that road. I just hate that. You forget about it. You forget about players after they're injured or gone for a couple of years. It's
true. And I think my thought is that they have. Well, it's just like what was I saying? I just don't think the Lakers are going to get right, and that's the other thing I was kind of thinking about. I think early in the season, everybody was predicting that the Lakers are going to be fine. Lakers are going to be fine. I don't think that's going to happen, and I don't think I think Brooklyn is in the same situation too, where if Kyrie doesn't come back, are they going to be fine? And I don't think they are. And I'm just kind of it just make me think like is LeBron on his own that much of a guy?
So the Lakers team we see right now. So the Lakers team we have right now is not the team we'll see in 4 months, right? With Avery Bradley starting at shooting guard, and THT though, man, I don't know. Like if THT's Taylor Horton-Tucker,
if he shows up,
and LeBron are back with Anthony Davis, Russ, fucking.
Who knows?
Team. They could be good. I don't know, man.
Will they be fine?
I think they'll be all right.
Maybe it's still early, but I just don't see who the favorite is yet.
Should we close out with this question from the chat? If the Bulls needed a new mascot, what would you pick?
This is blasphemy, by the way.
I was gonna say no. Just no.
They have the number 1 mascot.
He's the best mascot ever.
I didn't realize as a kid though how good we had it. The Bulls have the best mascot of all time. Benny's the Bull. Like there's nothing. The only thing that comes close is the gorilla in Phoenix, and then maybe the dinosaur in Toronto. Other than that, though, like I went to a Minnesota game, Indianapolis. Any of those, dude, it's depressing. There's nobody there. Like there's no mascot to hype it up.
Here's what we can do.
They got it where it's at, man. And I didn't know how good we had it when I was a kid. And now when I see the other arenas,
winning 6 championships and having the best mascot in the league.
Especially in the 90s when I was a kid, I didn't know how good we had. I was at this all the time.
We just win every year. If they have a new mascot, they can do Scottie Pippin as Chester Cheeto. I don't know if you guys seen that meme going around. They said he's slowly turning into Chester Cheeto, and the picture of it was just perfect. So there you go. Put him in a cheetah costume. Give him some
Scottie Pippen as a mascot.
As Chester Cheeto.
I just do want to say that Benny the Bull is in the Mascot Hall of Fame. There is a Mascot Hall of Fame. You can go and visit it, and he is in it.
Where is it located? Do you know?
The Mascot Hall of Fame is in.
I believe he's your daughter's favorite player as well.
Absolutely. If you ask Piper anything about the Bulls, you get Benny the Bull.
Benny the Bull.
It's in Whiting, Indiana.
Just a few short hours away.
Interesting.
Yeah, location. I don't even know if it's hours. I think this looks like we should take a trip.
It's a Box Out Boys trip.
The Box Out Boys field trip.
All right, there we go. Contact.
I can come in remotely. Anyways.
All right, you guys think that's about it? Get it for us tonight?
Slips, boys. Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm good.
All right, well, that's it for us tonight. Join us next week to talk more NBA basketball. Follow us at Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch at the Box Out Boys. Slide into those DMs. Join us live Wednesdays at 8:30-ish. Send us an email to theboxoutboys@gmail.com. We always like talking about your questions, and we'll be talking about Richie's next week. And as always, like, subscribe, and review wherever you're watching this at now or listening to this at now. We very much appreciate that. So for Chris, Joey, and Adam, I'm Titus. Until next time, box out.